eBay is the place to buy all kinds of both cheap and expensive phones, but unfortunately, eBay also has a ton of sellers with really bad feedback. So in this video, I bought used iPhones from some of eBay's worst sellers to see if they're actually that bad. Now here I have two iPhones I paid $5.99 for, but the seller has quite the history with selling phones. Let me show you. You see, he's got feedback like, beware, rude seller, treated me as a liar. Another feedback said, touchscreen on item did not work, item covered in tape glue, shipping was slow. And last but not least, horrible. So let's open this up and see what's inside. Okay, so phone on the left did actually boot up, at least I thought it did. Yeah, there it is. But I want to hop into the about and see what iPhone version we're on here. It says, let's see, we got 16 gigs, I believe here, 7.12, honestly a little bit newer than I expected for an iPhone 4. And as we're scrolling through here, I notice there's maybe a tiny bit of yellowing at the bottom, which is honestly fairly typical for an old iPhone at this point, but it's very subtle, not too bad there. Let's go ahead and see what's on this phone though. It looks like pretty standard stuff. We got some extras here like contacts, calculator, compass, and yeah, for the most part, it looks like pretty normal stuff. Let's go ahead and hop into the settings here, go back to our storage and see if there's anything saved. So no songs, videos, photos, anything like that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, nothing to really write home about with this phone so far because it's working just fine. Let's go ahead and boot up the camera and make sure that works and see how a phone from, a decade or so ago looks now here in 2025. Yeah, I mean, that's not good, but it's better than like half the phones I use here on the channel. So like, in terms of my standards, that's pretty solid. Let's go ahead and flip this thing around though, see how it looks from the back. Yeah, again, pretty solid. So yeah, pretty pleased with this first phone, working perfectly fine. But guys, this second phone here is charging up, and yeah, we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay guys, well I've had this phone plugged in for a good hour, 2 hours at this point, and it's still showing the boot up screen, which is not ideal. Also, didn't really notice this earlier, but there's a giant crack in the top left corner, which again, these phones were $6, so not a huge deal, but I thought this phone would boot up. Now I will say the description was a little bit strange in this listing. Let me just show you real quick. So the description says one has a charge and starts up, the other needs at least a charge or more, no charger included, all caps with like 8 exclamation marks. And the phones were listed for parts, so one phone working, one phone not working I think is fair. But guys, I think we're ready to leave some feedback. Really, all I can say is for $5.99, I can't complain too much. Positive feedback. Now here I paid $10 for a working iPhone 4, but the packaging is a little bit suspect, which kind of matches up with the seller feedback. Let me show you. Got this one here that says packaging was non-existent, screen was broken, had to send back for refund. This one says laptop with burned motherboard, completely disassembled without screws, broken legs. How can it be sold with untested description? This one also hits home. It says extremely packed, very poorly. The box was torn to pieces and there was hardly any bubble wrap around the typewriter. And last but not least, straight to the point, this one says the item was broke, in bad condition. So guys, let's open this thing up and see what's inside. Okay, to be fair, there is quite a bit of paper around this one phone here. Okay, wow, and it's wrapped up as well. WMHL, I don't know what that's for. And yeah, I mean, outside looked pretty weird, but honestly, very good packaging on the inside, and we have a decent looking iPhone 4. I mean, it was $10, and it doesn't look too bad for how old this is. Got some scratches and scuffs and whatever. Let's go ahead and see if it turns on, though. And no surprise there, it does not. So we'll charge it up and then come back. All right, guys, so I'm back, and the phone has been charging up, and while I was waiting, I ate a burger, fries, a whole pizza, a few tacos, a turkey sandwich, some fried chicken, oh, and best of all, some barbecue. Now, you might be wondering how I had the time to go pick up all this food, and the answer is I did not. Thanks to the sponsor of this video, Uber Eats, I had it all delivered to me. So picture this, guys. You're sitting on your couch playing video games or watching a Smokin Silicon video, and you get a hankering for some food. Now, instead of wasting a ton of time driving to the restaurant, waiting in line, paying for the food, waiting for the food, then driving home in awful traffic, why not just use Uber Eats? Seriously, ordering with Uber Eats is super easy. You can browse, order, track, and enjoy all in just a few taps. Whether you're craving pizza, sushi, or something local you never tried before, there are hundreds of restaurants to choose from and new deals every day right in the app. And hey, maybe you do have some extra time and you want to save a few bucks. Well, lucky for you, Uber Eats does also have pickup orders, so you can order ahead for pickup and skip the delivery fee altogether. So order from hundreds of restaurants on Uber Eats and discover new deals every day. Use my code on screen to get $15 off your first order with a minimum basket size of $20. And thanks again to Uber Eats for sponsoring this video. All right, guys, phone's been charging up for a while, and I think it turned on here. There it is. Cool. So we got plenty of charge here. Let's go ahead and swipe, and nice. There is no lock code, which is good to see. And turn up the brightness. The first thing I want to check, of course, is if we have any yellowing on the screen. And honestly, the screen looks pretty dang good there. Let's go ahead and check out our general and see what software version we're on this phone. Okay, so 7.1.2, it is an AT&T phone. I guess that means it's locked on AT&T. I don't know if it said that in the description. Let me check. Okay, it did not say that there, but to be fair, it's an iPhone 4. LTE is not even compatible on this thing, so like it frankly does not matter what the carrier is at this point. And I should also mention some other strange stuff they say in the description, like the fact that this may include components that are untested, incomplete, or non-functional. While we do our best to describe each item accurately, we cannot guarantee the performance or compatibility of every part. So it's one of those things where like, why are we calling it used in the eBay item where it's like used and working, but then the description says as is, it might be untested. Like, what is going on here, man? And another strange thing I just looked at and remembered is I paid $15 in shipping for this iPhone here. Guys, $15. If you know anything about shipping, you can ship this via Ground Advantage with USPS for $5. Come on now. Well, here's something. I don't think the home button is working. It's not horrible, but it's a little bit crunchy, and you can see, actually, that's because the back of the case is making a little bit of a noise, which tells me I think the back is probably going to start expanding soon if it hasn't already because of probably a bloating battery, so that's a little bit tragic. But let me go ahead and see if I can get this phone back on. Yeah, home button is definitely not working. That's not great. I think I have to turn on the accessibility settings and put an iPhone home button on screen. Oh, hold on, I pressed it enough times and it finally worked. Maybe. You know what, here's the thing, I think you gotta press it against the table, pin it down, like the bad phone it's been. Huh? There we go. Gotta pin that phone down, boy. That was weird. Okay, let's, back to the camera here. Okay, so front is fine, but the back, I think, has some cracks or scratches or something because it's super blurry. I guess it's not horrible, but also I don't think it should look quite like that. And yeah, home button is driving me up the wall. There it goes. Dude, I'm done with this thing. All right, so I think we're ready to leave some feedback. So the phone wasn't horrible, but not telling me about a non-working home button on an iPhone is that's just straight up wrong. And $15 for shipping here, that's wrong as well. So man, I hate to do it, but I'm going negative feedback here. Now here I have an iPhone 12 Pro that I paid $200 for from eBay. Now the seller themselves did not have very bad feedback, but the listing was interesting. Let me just show you the photos. So yeah, as you can see here, the phone has clearly not been factory reset. Now I'm not sure if that's how it got shipped to me or not. I guess we'll find out here in a second. And also, take a look at this package, guys. What do you notice that's strange here? And yep, you're right, the shipping tape here is not actually shipping tape, it's just a bunch of Scotch tape that was kind of like bandaged together, which is honestly the first time I've ever seen this. It's just I thought that was interesting and I'm surprised it actually made it here, but let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what's inside. Oh wait, no way, I just realized there's no packing in here at all either. There's one piece of paper and the iPhone 12 is just bouncing around. Wow, that's, oof. That is not good. Now, at first glance, I don't think it took too much damage. It's got definitely some scratches on the bottom. Those could have been there in the photos, but it was kind of hard to tell because there weren't, well, I think all the photos had the screen turned on, so you couldn't see the scratches down here, but those are pretty gnarly. Not horrible, but not great either. And then here on the back, it looks fine, I'd say. Clearly looks like an iPhone 12 Pro, and yeah, the rest of it looks, yeah, it looks fine. It's not like cleaned up or anything, but it's got a lot of cardboard dust and crap on it. Let's go ahead and see if it turns on though. And nope, guess not. So that's yet another phone we gotta charge. So I'll charge it up and I'll come back. All right, guys, so phone's been charged up for a while, and it looks like this thing actually is factory reset, so maybe the photos he took for the listing were before he factory reset, maybe it was his personal phone, and as soon as he sold it, he went and got another phone. I don't know, but let me set this thing up, and I'll come back. All right, guys, got this phone booted up, and it looks fine so far. Of course, we'll start with the brightness, make sure that's working good, and I gotta say, the more I look at it, the more disappointed I am with the scratches at the bottom. Like, they're fine, but it definitely was not conveyed in the listing, so that's a little bit disappointing. And guys, I actually went back to the eBay listing and looked at the description, and sure enough, it does note that there are scratches at the bottom, and it says they are very minor. There's actually a photo of them, and in the photo, you literally cannot see scratches at all. Like, you can see a couple very, very minor scratches. So if they actually matched up with the photo, that'd be correct, but like, as you can see here, those scratches are pretty deep there. I would not consider that minor. But I want to start by just doing a normal speed test over Wi-Fi here and make sure that functionality is working. Cool, yeah, that seems to be fine. So next up, let's go back to our settings, and I want to check out our About tab and get some more details about this phone. So we're on 17.7, iPhone 12 Pro, that matches up. Got 128 gigs. It should be locked to AT&T, I believe. Yeah, it says carrier AT&T down here, SIM locked right here. Unfortunately, I do not have an AT&T SIM card to test on this thing, so we'll just have to take the iPhone's word for it, which I'm sure is correct, and it's AT&T here, but definitely not unlocked. Let's go ahead and hop into our battery page next up. Okay, so got our battery here. I'm very curious how much 80%. Okay, so that's fine, I guess. For 200 bucks though, a little steep for 80% battery capacity, and then all the scratches on the bottom. We'll see if there's any other details here. I guess it won't give me a cycle count on a phone this old. Also, I don't see any details about whether any third-party parts have been swapped in, so that's at least good to see that it's all OEM parts as far as I'm aware. Now, of course, test out the cameras here and make sure these things are working. So there's our selfie. Flip that bad boy around. And as you can see, back camera, front camera, they both look fine. So those are good to go. But anyways, guys, this phone will be listed on my website down below, jarobgaming.com. You can click the link or scan the QR code on the screen. But I think we're ready to leave our feedback on this phone. Overall, this phone is fine, but honestly, the scratches were a little more intense than I expected from the listing. So just because of that, I'm gonna have to go neutral feedback here. Now guys, next I bought an iPhone 15 Plus for $500 from eBay, and this one's good. Just listen closely here. So the title says Apple iPhone 15 Plus, 128GB, blue, unlocked, and has the TikTok app. And so yes, they were trying to sell this for a premium because it has a TikTok app. And look at the photo here. Like, just no words needed. Is that a towel bar in the background? What is this a photo taken in the bathroom? What is going on here? But anyways, long story short, this seller never sent me anything. I got a refund like an entire month later. And then I went and tried to buy another iPhone here, which is just this one's even better. So this one, the title says iPhone with TikTok, $500 again. The seller has no feedback, and the one photo here is literally just a screenshot of the iPhone, with a bunch of apps here. And you can see TikTok, you can see Mail, you can see X, you can see some games, Facebook, whatever. But again, this seller also did not ever ship the item to me, and I messaged both of them multiple times, never heard anything back. So I'm not sure what happened, but they fully ghosted me. The whole TikTok $500 thing is just really strange, and a very obvious negative feedback for both these sellers because they just not good. But now here I did actually get a package from eBay. I bought an iPhone 16e for about $500. It's supposed to be open box, so basically in mint condition. So I expect high quality here, but we'll find out. And I'm a little concerned because of course the feedback is bad. Let me show you. This one's funny, but also really bad. It says, I only received an empty box when I ordered it. I asked for a refund. Until date, I have not gotten it. It's been almost 2 weeks. Seller's not responding to me either. Now, it's really bad. So hopefully there's something actually inside of this thing. And now here we have some feedback that's actually very relevant to what we bought and also pretty concerning. It says, the message displayed under battery health and charging stated, important battery message, your battery's health is significantly degraded. Maximum capacity 69%. Nice. That does not constitute a phone listed as in good condition, which I would agree with. And this one here is very relevant, extremely relevant, I should say, to the package here. It says, item not as described, has scratches and damages on the sides as well as gel residue on the back. Definitely not in mint condition. You can see that the listing here they bought from is an open box phone. So that's exactly what we bought here as well. So let's go ahead and see what's inside of this little FedEx envelope here. Wait a second. We have a warranty card here, which, whatever. We have a charging cable, which looks like the right thing as well, which is good to see. But there's no actual iPhone 16e box. There's just the phone here. And like in my experience, open box means it comes with the box. So it's used maybe like once or maybe taken out of the box and not actually used or whatever, but it should come with the box, right? Okay, we'll gloss over that for a second, maybe revisit that fact in here in a little bit. But let's take a look at this phone. And at first glance, the back looks really good. We got a white matte back. I don't see really any scratches at all. Here in the front, the screen looks great as well. If anything, there's a couple little micro scratches. Let's take a look at the sides here, see if there's any scratches. And no, they seem to look fine as well. All right, let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see what it does. All right, guys, finally set up here, and so far, so good. I want to go ahead and turn the brightness up first, make sure that works. You can see, there we go, that looks fine. But yeah, I want to hop into the settings here, see what kind of version we're on, all that kind of stuff first. So we got an iPhone 16e, 18.5, which sounds reasonable. I also have a warranty going until May 22nd, 2026, which I guess adds up and means that somebody didn't use this phone very long if they used it at all, which leads me to my next question. I wonder what the battery looks like now. So you hop into battery. I'm really hoping it's 100% because, like, why would it not be? What is this? Oh, okay, that's just battery usage down there. And it is 100%. What? Wait a second. Wow. Cycle count 1. This phone was seriously taken out of the box, I guess charged up one time, and that was it. Let's go ahead and hop into the cameras here and make sure those work. Yeah, as you can see, that looks fine. That looks fine as well. Cool. So that works. Okay, also they call this thing unlocked, and it says no SIM restrictions, so that seems to match up there. Let's go ahead and try to transfer my eSIM here and just verify that. Hey, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Just transferred my eSIM for Verizon from my personal phone to this phone here, and it should work now. Let me go ahead and turn off Wi-Fi, and then we'll go ahead and do a little speed test. Okay, here we go. After a few minutes, it finally showed up with 5G, and there it works. Cool. So this phone is perfectly fine. Still, again, a little weird that the box is not here, but let's go ahead and leave our review. I still think calling a device open box without it actually including a box is a little strange, but overall, the phone was great. Positive feedback. Now guys, this phone and every other phone you saw in this video will be listed on my website down below, jrobgaming.com, or QR code on the screen. Go ahead and scan that. So go check them out if you're interested. And guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to check out these really jank phones we got from TikTok. Just go watch it. I'll see you there.